Idaho is on the worst crime list in the entire United States. Can that be true? Let's find out next. Hey everybody, Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave here. You know, you're a great real estate agent by your side when it comes time to buy a home, sell a home, or even relocate right here to the Treasure Valley. And if you're thinking about relocating, why would you think about Idaho? It's on the worst crime list from all the states plus the District of Columbia. But where are we on that list? Well, I don't want to keep you in suspense too long. We're number 4 from the bottom. I know, isn't that great? Hey, so what's this all about? Well, I'll tell you what it's all about. I don't know if you know this, but every Wednesday I come out with a newsletter email, and yesterday's was about how Idaho is on that crime list and where we are number 4. This email has got some great information. Every week it's a little bit different. I put it together myself, and you can get on that list yourself for just go into www.getdavesemail.com. No apostrophe for all you English teachers out there. Getdavesemail.com, and you can get your own newsletter to your email box every single week. But so this one, I talked about how, yep, Idaho is number 4 on the national crime list from the bottom, which I thought was pretty cool. How did all this come about? Well, we've got a fan of the show that sent me a link, said, hey, check this out. And so I did. And I go, you know what? This is some pretty good information. So it was a link to the www.worldpopulationreview.com, and they went over the crime stats and where we are. And you'll notice that Idaho is this yellow color, and that means it has the lowest crime. Interestingly, I thought, was that these other New England states were also very low in crime. So why could that be? Well, one of the things is that, as this article goes on to say, is that not everybody, not every jurisdiction, not every state actually reports their crimes. I know, that's pretty wild, huh? The difference is, so Idaho is low crime, New England states are low crime. New England states, highly liberal. Maybe they figured out that sanctuary cities and stuff like that actually is a good thing, and it just turned out to be a utopia, and there's no crime, and all the illegal immigrants that come in, they don't cause any crime and stuff like that. That's probably what it is. Probably not, because look at all the other states. They got high crime. So I'm just wondering, maybe this is some of those jurisdictions that just don't report their crime. Idaho, on the other hand, I live it, and you can tell that there is so much less crime here. So moving on down through the article here, we look at these 2 charts that talk about the highest places they have crime. District of Columbia is the number 1. Did you think the same thing that I did when I heard that Washington, D.C. is like heads and shoulders above, further ahead out than any other place as far as crime goes? Could it be because they're counting what the politicians do? I mean, that would only seem fair, right? My guess is probably not. And then look over at the next chart. We have the lowest crime. There's Idaho at number 4 from the bottom. And there again, I say Maine. Okay, Maine doesn't have hardly like 5 people in the entire state. Massachusetts with Boston, are you kidding me? They're lower crime than Idaho? I'm thinking something funny's going on there, and not funny, haha. And look at that, number 10 from the bottom is New York State. That's a little fishy. The article, like I said, went on to say that some places don't report their crimes, and they said that New York City does not report, Los Angeles does not report, and then these states don't report. That would be California, New York State, Illinois, Pennsylvania, and Florida. So when New York on this crime chart looks like, oh, what a nice place to be, there's no crime there, it's just because they don't report the crime. And this article says too that there are 7,700 agencies that report no crime data, and then another 4,000 agencies that only report partial crime data. So it's like, take this with a grain of salt. I think once you've been to Idaho, you're just going to naturally know that we have so much less crime. Well, we'll get into that in a minute. The article also goes on to say, it talks about some of the interesting list of factors known to affect the amount and type of crime. And I thought this was a pretty interesting list. Okay, so it talks about climate. I'm not sure how climate plays into crime. I mean, yeah, it's a snow day, criminals get to sleep in, right? But, there's some massive crime in, say, New Mexico, and it's hot. And then there's a lot of crime in Minnesota and North Dakota and Montana, all those northern M states, and it's cold up there. So I don't know if climate really has anything to do with it. Population density, degree of urbanization, yes, I can see how all that, but you know, moving on down just a little bit, you see where it says cultural factors, blah, 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 and religious characteristics. I think that's what really kind of makes Idaho stand apart from all these other places. Yes, a lot of Californians have moved to Idaho, and Idaho still has very low crime. And yes, a lot of Californians have moved to Washington, Oregon, Texas, Oklahoma, Arizona, all places with high amounts of crime. So did California's culture of crime migrate to all these other states, but it didn't come to Idaho? Why would that be? So my thoughts on this, and I think I'm probably right, crime is an indication of the culture of crime. And so the culture of crime is, it's like you have crime about you all the time. It's become normalized. It's become expected. People that might not otherwise be criminals, they say, well, why not? Everybody else is, and it's expected, and there's no deterrence, there's no punishment. So they become a culture of crime. In Idaho, I think it's completely different. Here it's, we have an expectation of being moral, upright, upstanding, neighborly. We respect each other. We respect each other's property. It's very, very seldom you ever see any graffiti up here. So I really do think that it's not so much the crime, but the culture of crime that makes Idaho different. We have a very low culture of crime. We don't have a culture of crime. So maybe if you are thinking of moving from one of these communist enclaves, maybe it's California, maybe it is Washington State, Washington, D.C., Oregon, and you're thinking, gosh, you know, I'd like a safe place, get some of that stress out of my life, maybe for me, my family, my kids, and where could that be? Well, I'm thinking it could be Massachusetts, if you believe the numbers there, or it could be Idaho. You can take that to the bank. So hey, thanks for checking this video out, and get your own copy. Sign up for my newsletter at www.getdavesemail.com, and you'll get this every week, and it's got some valuable stuff in it. Give me a call. You know, I'd be glad to talk with you, and maybe we can actually find out if this is a good fit for you. So anyway, till next time, we'll see you on the next video. Hey, thanks for stopping in and learning more about real estate in Nampa, Idaho and the Treasure Valley. If you'd like to learn more, watch this video here next, or binge on this playlist. When it comes time to sell a home, buy a home, or even relocate to the Treasure Valley, your Treasure Valley Dave team is your real estate expert by your side, helping you get home.